All right. Oh, look at that. Saw trike. What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning on in to another episode of the Evergreen Motovlogs. So today, I got a really good one for y'all. I know y'all have been waiting for this one, so I'm excited to finally share it with everybody. Y'all gonna love it. It is gonna be where I talk about the Honda Rebel 500. This is gonna be officially my 3005 mile review. So let's get into it. Alright, so Honda Rebel 500 3000 or 3005 mile review. Man, it's been a ride. This is my first motorcycle. For all y'all who are new to the channel, thank you for coming on in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you've not had a chance to subscribe. Plenty of Honda Rebel and motorcycle content both on the channel and headed your way. Oh, there's the cool headlights. He waved at me. Anyway, so yeah, 3,000 mile review. I've been riding the Honda Rebel 500. This is my first street motorcycle. Previously, I had ridden dirt bikes when I was younger, but that's a different story. I picked this motorcycle up a year ago, which would have been May 2021. This is a 2021 Honda Rebel 500. I picked it up on May the 4th, actually. So, May the 4th be with you. It is currently July of 2022, so just a little bit over a year and a couple months. And yeah, I put about 3,000 miles on the bike. I bought it new. The odometer said 0, so that's pretty cool. And kind of want to keep this Rebel 500 review a little bit more informal, relaxed. That's kind of just the person I am in general. And in the future, if I do want to do something a little bit more detailed and technical, then I'll go ahead and maybe throw that up there. But leave a comment down below and let me know if you want to see anything I talk about today. If you want to see me go into more detail or get more technical, I'm all for just kind of keeping this channel laid back and chill. There's plenty of stuff out there to look into the details, and I'm just going to kind of go off of a new rider experience, somebody who, you know, is riding motorcycles and has tried other motorcycles, and just kind of the feel and what I think of it, what I like about it, and maybe what I dislike about it. Are there things that I dislike? I don't know. Stay tuned. So let me just get started by saying that the Honda Rebel 500, in my opinion, is a fantastic bike. I love this bike. I picked it for the looks, and that's just getting started with how awesome this bike really is. I think it looks really cool. I'm a big fan of kind of that, you know, just bobber cruiser type look. I think it's, you know, kind of minimal, and I really appreciate it. I think it looks neat. Saw, dude. Squid. This bike looks awesome. I think it looks really cool. And when I sat down on it in the dealership, I kind of knew, you know, it felt right. The riding position was good. The rider triangle, kind of feet to arms, I feel like it's very comfortable. Now, I think that there could be some changes made to it. I do plan on adding highway foot pegs for some of those longer rides, just because I think in general mid controls can kind of get tiring. But I'm 5'8" and sat down on the Honda Rebel 500, could perfectly flat foot it with ease, you know, flat foot with bent knees. And was just, you know, reached out, grabbed the handlebars for the first time, and it just felt right. You know, my arms are a little bent, but they're mostly extended, so I'm not reaching super far. I think maybe in the future, again, some kind of bar risers or different bars that could bring it up here a little bit would maybe make it a little bit more comfortable as well. But yeah, out of the box, stock from the dealership, this bike is awesome. Super comfortable to sit on, super comfortable to ride. The only modification, or I guess you could say thing that I would change kind of right off the bat, is the seat. But really, you don't need to change the seat. If you're going to be using this bike for shorter rides, kind of just getting around town, going to buddies' places, that kind of thing, then the stock seat will get you there fine. But when you're going to be doing some of those longer rides, I've recently taken it out for almost 200-mile ride, then just, you know, riding all day and things like that. Getting a chance to upgrade the seat, I would say it would be one of the top mods to do in my opinion, just because it really adds that extra level of comfort and you can stay on it longer. So now that I have the Mustang seat, which if you've not had a chance to check out my videos, go ahead, I'm gonna link them right up here. Once you upgrade the seat, I could sit on this bike all freaking day, and I have. Go ahead and just top her off before I go into the woods. So yeah, there's the bike. Like I said, looks pretty sweet. One of the reasons that drew me to it originally was just for the look, you know? I think overall it's just a nice looking motorcycle. And look at that, 53 miles to the gallon so far. That's not bad. Alright, so one of the next things that I wanted to talk about was related to how the Honda Rebel 500 fits in as a quote-unquote beginner bike. So I would qualify, I guess I would say, as myself as one of those beginners. What was that person just sitting out the window? That's funny. Because, like I mentioned, I had ridden dirt bikes in the past, but the Honda Rebel 500 is my first street motorcycle, and I've only been riding street motorcycles for a little bit over a year. So yeah, I'm a beginner, right? And this one can get a little controversial just because I think it's kind of a subjective question. Because what really constitutes as a beginner bike? Is it something that's easy to operate? Is it something that's comfortable? Is it something that's got lower power? Well, it can be kind of any combination of those and other things that I probably am not mentioning right now. In my opinion, a good beginner bike is really the bike that fits you the best as a beginner. So, my advice... Oh wow, they clear cut this. This was all treed last time I was here. So my advice would be, if you're not sure what a good beginner bike for you would be, go out and sit on a few different bikes, do some test rides, and see if you can find what works for you. However, this is a Honda Rebel 500 review, not a beginner bike video. So I would say the Honda Rebel 500 would fit into that category as a beginner bike. It's been a fantastic beginner bike for me. Something that I've really enjoyed, something that I've had a chance to get really comfortable with. I definitely feel in tune or connected with this bike, and what I mean by that is you know, I feel very comfortable riding it. I'm comfortable with the weight, the nimbleness of it, the power, especially after, I believe, 2020, they added in the slipper clutch, and yeah, I mean, pulling the clutch back is no problem. I really do think somebody who has never ridden a motorcycle could get on this bike and learn very easily. That being said, for someone who's a true beginner, I do think this power can get away from you. And what I mean by that is the Honda Rebel 500's a 500cc motorcycle. And I know you can get bikes that are a lot larger displacements, but there's a good amount of power packed into this little bike. There's a real good amount of power packed into this bike. I think you got like 43 horsepower, and for beginners, this really could get away from you. All about that rider comfort, right? As somebody who's previously had experience with motorcycles and operating a clutch and everything, I was able to just hop onto this bike and pretty much feel comfortable with it right away. And some of you might be able to do that, but I really don't think this bike has any problems when it comes to the amount of power you're getting for it. It's got a 6-speed transmission, and that extra gear, that 6th gear, is really nice to have. It'll let you get going. The power band on this bike is very linear. It starts a lot more in the lower end, but then it kind of just moves its way up. It's not, you don't really have a point along the RPM line to where you have a serious increase in power. It's got a good amount of that low end torque. You'll see in my 0 to 60 video just kind of what it does in 0 to 60 and how the bike starts off a line. But yeah, I can be cruising along. Yeah, I'm in 5th gear right now, 50 miles an hour. I can drop a gear I can drop a gear and just take off. Yeah, I think this power is great. You know, I'm able to really keep up on this bike, really get to where I need to go. I wanted to wait to do this review until I had a chance to go on the highway, you know, good amount of time so I could get comfortable with it, and I have done that now. And yeah, this bike, no problem on the highway. I'll go ahead and probably do a highway video in the future, but for now, my kind of initial thoughts, or my high level thoughts, is this bike handles totally fine on the highway. You could use it to commute, you could use it for longer rides, and it does great. While I think that this bike is something that a new rider can handle, it's something that you can grow into, and you can really enjoy it and have a good time on for a while. I'm at the point where, you know, I can see myself upgrading, right? Because I feel like if you get into motorcycles, you can always see yourself upgrading. But I am totally happy with what I have. The bike looks awesome. It's got a great amount of power. I feel like some of the features that they've added to it they've really tried to gear it towards newer riders, just because, you know, you got the slipper clutch. You've got a good amount of power, but it's not going to be way too overpowering. It's a cruiser. The LED lights coming from the factory are awesome. I have people all the time telling me, wow, man, those are super bright. Those are good. So I appreciate the lighting on the 2020 and above. And all around, I think it's a good bike. This bike handles the twisties really well. Hopefully you can kind of tell a little bit on this ride I'm doing here. It does great in the turns. The lean angle is nice. I actually have yet to scrape the foot pegs. And maybe I'm not necessarily looking to do that anytime soon. I can confidently say that I'm comfortable riding this motorcycle at long distances. I'm comfortable just hopping on and doing quick rides. I think it's very versatile in those kind of cases. After upgrading the stock seat, like I said, I could definitely take it on longer rides and, you know, go farther distances. It's totally highway capable. I mean, I can be cruising at 65 miles an hour in 6th gear, and I mean, I barely, not even a quarter turn on the throttle, and it's just cruising along. So then when I need to get up and pass somebody, maybe I could drop all the way down into like 4th gear and then get up and get going really well. Interesting. So they like put this in here. There's always been one lane, but kind of interesting that they decided to put a light here. So yeah, this is a little rinky-dinky bridge. You're kind of high up. I think there's a river down there. So I can get on this motorcycle, I can just get going, and I can take it around town. I can take the twisties totally fine. I can get on the freeway and cruise. I can get up around traffic. I honestly think this is an awesome bike. It's great to learn on, or at least from my personal point of view and experience. It's been a great bike to learn on. One of the cool things is at least in my experience, the courses that you take for the permit and the endorsement a lot of the times use the smaller version of this bike, the Honda Rebel 300. And so when I took it, there was a Honda Rebel 300 there, so that's kind of nice because you can kind of get on that bike and try it out. And it's basically the same bike. It's just going to be, I think it's lighter, and then obviously a smaller motor. That's pretty cool. That helps you kind of get a feel for it. This bike is super light, super nimble. I think it's quick. Obviously not going to have that sport bike acceleration, but that's not what you're looking for in a cruiser all the time. So I understand that. Let me talk for just a couple minutes here about what maybe I don't like about this bike. And honestly, I've been thinking about this for a little while I was getting ready to do this video, and I don't have a ton that I really don't like about the bike. You know, obviously, I think almost everybody upgrades the stock seat, and if you plan on taking this motorcycle out for longer than an hour or two, it's kind of a necessity to upgrade the seat. So I don't know, I guess maybe it'd be kind of nice to do that from the get-go when you get the motorcycle, and then you don't have to worry about it. You could roll it up into your financing or something like that. Another thing, this might just be because it's mid-controls, but I do find my legs and my knees getting kind of fatigued after a while. And I'm talking a long while, like, you know, 3 to 4 plus hours of riding. And, you know, you gotta just take breaks, you gotta stretch, kind of just try to relax. The angle at which your legs sit, or at least for me, you know, I'm on the shorter side or average height side, and I do kind of feel like after a while my knees and my ankles start to get a little fatigued from this angle. So, but again, that can be easily fixed by getting some highway pegs put on. So I do plan on doing highway pegs in the future. But other than that, honestly, I mean, you know, obviously there's like, oh, it'd be cool if it could have a little more power or whatever, but that's what the 1100 is for, right? So just as a bike on its own, I've had, I would say, almost 100% positive experience with this bike. I love it. I really enjoy riding it. I think I'm always going to enjoy riding it. It's a great bike. It's been one that it's been great to learn on. My wife's ridden it a few times, and she's never been on any motorcycles of any kind, and she was able to handle it in the parking lot, you know, slower speed maneuvers and things like that. So if you're new to riding, then I think that this bike will work great for you. I think you'll be able to handle it totally fine. And, you know, like anything, it's a machine, and you got to respect it. And if you can respect the machine, then you're good to go. My experience with this bike has been super positive. I've really enjoyed riding it. I've really enjoyed having it. I honestly plan on just continuing to enjoy it and, you know, upgrade it. I like the sparkle. When you get the direct sun, the sparkle of this flat gray black color, that's cool. I've got nothing but positive things to say about this bike at 3,000 miles. So, you know, I'll do maybe an updated part 2 review when I get to the 5,000 mile mark or something like that. And who knows, I mean, I may be getting there sooner than expected. But overall, like I said, I'll just kind of do a quick little recap. This bike, it was awesome to learn on, has been great to ride. It is totally capable. There's maybe just some slight modifications you can do to it to make it something that will last, and I intend to make it last and enjoy it for a long time. Honda Rebel 500, awesome bike, 3,000 miles. Had a lot of time to get used to this bike, to get really comfortable, and I'm super comfortable with it. I really enjoy it, and I'm really happy that I got it. So take that how you may. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and would I recommend this bike? Would I, if I had the chance to do over and purchase it again, would I get it? Yeah, I think I would. You know, it's kind of hard because maybe there's an argument to getting the Rebel 1100 and then starting in rain mode. At the time when I was looking at this bike, the 1100 had just come out and it was not really available, and I had not really looked into it as much, and obviously it's more expensive. Damn it. I have a hair on my tongue. Ugh. One of the nice things that I would say about this bike is the price point, you know. For something you get out the door under $10,000 new is pretty awesome. That, like I said, is totally highway capable, Honda reliability. So I mean, I could go on. As I'm sitting here trying to wrap things up, I'm remembering other good positive things that I like about the bike or aspects to it. So like I said, there'll probably be a part 2 down the road, but let me know down in the comments what you think about this bike. And yeah, I totally would recommend purchasing it if you're a new rider and you're getting back into riding and you're looking at the Honda Rebel 500. I would totally recommend it. If I had to do it over again, I'd get it. So I think it's a good bike. I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, I think it's cool. It's lots of fun. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave things off there. But like I said, let me know down in the comments if you would like to see additional reviews, or if you'd like to see me go into other things about the bike, go ahead and like the video. If you'd like to see me do reviews on other motorcycles, more than happy to do test rides or reviews in the future. Leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing, let me know what you think of the Honda Rebel 500, if your experience has been the same, and let me know if you've had a different experience, or if maybe you don't think it's a good bike to purchase. But overall, I'm super happy with it. I may upgrade my bike sooner rather than later, but I'm not getting rid of this one for a long time. So go ahead and like the video, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button for additional Honda Rebel 500 content and motorcycle content. Hit that notification bell for future uploads. And as always, this is the Evergreen Motovlog channel. Honda Rebel 500 3,000 mile review. Reminding you to ride safe out there, mind your surroundings, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.